Looking through this brochure, which is quite beautiful, about the Life campaign, I noticed this particular letter that I'd like to read. It says this letter has been written to thank the staff of the ICU of the Hospital Cochin in Paris after full recovery of the patient. To all of you. A year ago, I was about to leave the Hospital Cochin to start with many months of rehabilitation. 8 weeks before, in the night from 8th to the 9th of February, I was dropped out of an ambulance to be installed in a room in your care. Early that morning, I began roughly 10 days of a coma. I came to know long after waking up that during this time you were not certain I would be able to survive this malaria, which I brought back from a trip to Cameroon. Your work and presence during the 8 weeks I spent lying in this bed, which I sometimes perceived as a space cabin, took me out of this very bad path. Now, from deep inside me, I would like to share my thanks to each of you. Each one of you has your own function, your own place, that using your competence and humanity made my recovery possible. I had the idea of making you a present, a very modest one in comparison to the one you gave me. Enclosed, you will find original pictures out of a research work initiated long before the start of my illness, and which I am resuming. The four photos of this series are from the period just after my recovery. They're quite recent. Each one of them shows an ascendant direction, representing for me the positive direction I try to follow in the pursuit of my renewed life. These are my lifelines. I owe you those, and they belong to you. You have the most beautiful job on earth, and damned, you are very good at it.
One of the most moving and special things about this year's wonderful conference that we are here in Barcelona has been the letters and seeing other people's letters and reading them, because this is something that means so much to us as intensive care staff and nurses.
It's been a long time since we left Dublin. As you can see, our son Andres has recovered a lot since you last saw him. He is of course still very influenced by the assault, brain damage, and we will not know for a long time how close to his normal self he will get. However, without your professionalism, work, your attitude, the way you supported us, giving us realistic information, strength, smiles and hope, without your leadership and teamwork in the intensive care unit around our son, the first essential weeks, he certainly would not be where he is today.
Very meaningful, yeah. And they're very much appreciated by the team in the unit. It's always good to hear back from people, because we never quite know what impact we're having. So letters, whatever they say, are always much appreciated.
Es mucho más fácil escribir una carta de agradecimiento cuando las cosas van bien. En este caso no es así, porque Domingo ya no está con nosotros. Pero siento la necesidad de dar las gracias a todo el personal de cuidados intensivos, por su cualidad humana, por saber situarnos en cada momento con su realismo profesional y sensibilidad. Gracias a todo el personal sanitario, enfermeras, enfermeros, supervisoras, auxiliares, celadores, que cuidasteis a Domingo y supisteis estar en todo momento cerca de su familia. Marisa, Mario y familia, Barcelona.
Just a note to say how much we all appreciated the way both you and your staff cared for our father during his recent illness. From the time that he was brought into the emergency department, he was dealt with in an efficient, caring, and compassionate manner. I know that he himself appreciated greatly the excellent care and attention that he received whilst in both the ICU and the HDU. We all know that you did your very best for him, and we can never thank you enough for that. I would be grateful if you could pass our thanks on to all the staff who were involved in his care. I always felt that they treated him as well as if he was their own father.
Det känns tomt utan bror min. Att inte ha honom hemma är som en förmörkelse som inte försvinner, bara tomhet. Men snart hoppas jag kommer han hem igen. Och jag vill ge alla ett stort tack som hjälpt min bror, speciellt de som inte låtit honom vara ensam. Han är mitt allt som håller kvar mig vid sidan av de fallna minnena. Älskar dig David, din syster och tvilling Simone.
Je voulais vous dire combien je me suis senti bien et en sécurité. Combien la qualité de votre accueil fut pour moi comme une famille, un facteur de réconfort et de soutien. Vos explications et votre disponibilité aussi. Enfin, votre énergie, votre humour et vos attentions m'ont porté sur le chemin de la guérison. Je vous en remercie et ne l'oublierai jamais.
Crediamo che non sia facile lavorare costantemente con persone che lottano per vivere, che arrivano in ospedale in condizioni disperate. Nonostante ciò, i medici della neurorianimazione ci hanno sempre sostenuto e incoraggiato. Per questo abbiamo scritto questa testimonianza, anche se non è stato facile, per ringraziarli. Grazie a loro e ai medici che hanno operato Giovanni e che gli hanno prestato il primo soccorso, siamo una famiglia felice.
Letters like this are very important. They remind us of the work that we do, how important it is to patients and their families. This is a very special time in their lives, often a time of great crisis, and it's a privilege to be able to help them through that and then get these letters of thanks.
Every time we have a patient that we have fight so much to save him and finally died, you have a hole inside you, no? A black hole. Then when you get this kind of letters, you think that all we do and we are doing is helpful for someone.